What if I told you some SUVs on the road today are so reliable that people simply refuse to get rid of them? We're talking 200, 300, even 500,000 miles. No major breakdowns, no horror stories at the dealership. Just drive it, maintain it, and it keeps going. Today, we're counting down the 10 SUVs built to last a lifetime. Number 1 won't shock anyone, but stick around for the middle of the list because that's where the real hidden gems are. Let's get into it. Number 10, Subaru Forester. Kicking things off with the Subaru Forester, specifically the 4th and 5th generations. Now, Subaru's reputation used to be complicated. Older models had well-documented head gasket issues, and yeah, that was real, but Subaru fixed it. The 2014 redesign switched to a timing chain and addressed those concerns head-on, and the modern Forester became a genuinely tough, dependable daily driver. A big part of that is the Boxer engine. Cylinders sit flat instead of upright, lowering the center of gravity and reducing vibration over time. Less vibration means less stress on components. Simple physics. Then you've got Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive, battle-tested for decades across snow, mud, and rain. Owners also constantly rave about visibility, huge windows, thin pillars, clear sight lines in every direction. This is a no-nonsense daily driver that quietly stacks up miles without asking for much in return. Number 9, Honda Pilot, 3rd generation, 2016 to 2022. 3 rows, a 3.5-liter V6, and a track record of boring, beautiful reliability. Here's why the Pilot lasts. It's almost never working hard. That V6 was engineered for far more stress than school runs and highway cruising can throw at it. When an engine consistently operates below its limits, it lasts. Simple as that. Honda also designed the Pilot to share components with the Odyssey minivan in the Ridgeline pickup. That means these parts were produced by the millions, any issues got ironed out quickly, and replacements are cheap and available everywhere. Your local shop can fix a Pilot, no specialist required. Number 8, Acura RDX, 2nd generation, 2013 to 2018. Pay close attention here because this one is a sleeper. The 2nd-gen Acura RDX is a genuinely overlooked gem. The 3rd generation brought a turbocharged 4-cylinder, a more complex transmission, and an infotainment system that owners have been vocally unhappy about. But the 2nd-gen? Totally different story. This one ran Honda's legendary 3.5-liter J-Series V6, paired with a 6-speed automatic, old school, proven, and celebrated. The only real service to stay on top of is the timing belt at 100,000 miles. Do that one job, and this engine will run another 100,000 without flinching. The all-wheel drive system is also simpler than the newer models, meaning fewer failure points and cheaper maintenance. Genuine luxury, refined ride, quiet cabin, and used car money. One of the best-kept secrets in the used market right now. Number 7, Honda CR-V, 4th and 5th generation, 2012 to 2022. 2 versions worth highlighting here. The earlier models with the 2.4-liter K-Series engine and the newer hybrid. The K24 is practically legendary on mechanic forums. Simple, smooth, and so widely used that every technician in the country has worked on one. Average maintenance costs? Around $407 a year. The hybrid takes things even further. Honda's 2-motor hybrid system eliminates the traditional transmission almost entirely. Fewer moving parts, fewer failure points. Regenerative braking means brake pads that can stretch to 100,000 miles instead of 40,000. CR-V owners are a group that simply will not let go of their vehicles. Forums are full of people at 220, 250,000 miles asking, should I finally trade it in? The answer they keep getting and accepting is no. Just keep driving it. Number 6. Mazda CX-5. This one deserves way more credit than it gets. Mazda took a specific approach with the CX-5. Instead of chasing fuel economy by downsizing the engine and bolting on a turbo, they built a naturally aspirated 2.5-liter with a high compression ratio and a smart exhaust setup that gets efficiency without the heat stress of forced induction. They called it Sky Active. It works. More importantly, and this is a big deal, Mazda did not put a CVT in the CX-5. While Nissan and some others were going all in on belt-driven CVTs, Mazda said no and stuck with a traditional 6-speed torque converter automatic. That single decision separates the CX-5 from a massive chunk of its competition in terms of long-term reliability. The interior looks and feels like something that costs $10,000 more. Owners compare it to entry-level Audi or BMW, but with Japanese reliability and maintenance bills that average $400 to $500 a year. That's Corolla money for an SUV that drives like a sports car. Number 5. Toyota Highlander, 3rd and 4th generation. 3 rows, fuel-efficient, family-proof, and built on the same bones as the Lexus RX. Toyota's approach with the Highlander was straightforward. Take what works, share it across vehicles, and build it in massive quantities until every flaw is gone. The Highlander shares its engines, transmissions, and suspension components with the Lexus RX and the Toyota Sienna. At that production scale, defects get caught fast. The hybrid version is where it gets really impressive. Toyota's eCVT sounds like a CVT, but isn't. It's a planetary gear set. No belts, no bands, no clutches, just gears. Toyota has been running this same basic system since the original Prius. Some Highlander hybrid owners are reporting 300,000 miles on the original hybrid battery in eCVT. Not a typo. 300,000 miles, and it returns around 36 mpg combined while hauling 7 passengers. That combination of 3 rows, legendary reliability, and strong fuel economy is why families hold on to these for a decade and never look back. Number 3. Lexus RX, 3rd and 4th generation, 2010 to 2022. This is the benchmark, the vehicle that set the standard for luxury crossover reliability and has held it for over 2 decades. The RX 350's 3.5-liter V6 is one of the most thoroughly tested engines Toyota has ever produced. By the time you're buying one, you're getting a powertrain that's been stress-tested by millions of owners across millions of miles. Compare the maintenance costs of a 3rd or 4th gen RX with a German luxury crossover at 100,000 miles. A BMW X5 or Audi Q7 at 6 figures on the odometer starts sending you bills. Air suspension failures, electronic gremlins, specialized brake components. The RX at 100,000 miles typically just needs tires and fluid changes. It's not uncommon to see early 2000s models still in daily service with their original engines. The cabin materials hold up, the ride stays smooth, the repair bills stay small. That's the Lexus RX. Number 3. Toyota Sequoia, 2nd generation, 2008 to 2022. This vehicle has with arguably the most impressive raw numbers on this entire list. The 2nd-gen Sequoia is built on the Tundra pickup truck platform. The axles, the frame, the cooling system, all of it engineered for serious heavy-duty work. When you use a truck-grade platform as a family hauler, those components are barely breaking a sweat most of their lives. The 5.7-liter V8, Toyota's TU3RFE, has a reputation that borders on mythological. Tundra owners have pushed this engine past 1 million miles. Toyota built it with an oversized cooling system and internal components that are heavier and more robust than they strictly need to be. That deliberate overbuilding is exactly why they last. According to IC Cars, about 39.1% of 2nd-gen Sequoias make it past 250,000 miles, roughly 8 times higher than the average vehicle reaching 250,000. Number 2. Lexus GX 460, 2nd generation, 2010 to 2023. If you don't know the secret behind this vehicle, you're about to. The GX 460 looks like a polished luxury SUV built for country club parking lots, and it is that. But underneath the leather, wood trim, and Lexus badge, this thing is a global Land Cruiser Prado, the same vehicle that international aid agencies, military contractors, and expedition teams rely on in some of the harshest environments on Earth. Toyota didn't design this for American suburbs. They built it for roads where breaking down means you're stranded for days. Then they dressed it in Lexus refinement and sent it stateside. The 4.6-liter V8 paired with a 6-speed automatic has remained largely unchanged across this entire generation. When you run the same powertrain that long, you know every failure point, and you've fixed every one of them. Even the suspension is done right. A mechanical hydraulic system with no electronic airbags, no sensors to go haywire. Fewer electronics, fewer failures. Used car buyers have caught on, and the GX 460 has earned the ultimate used car value. And the #1 SUV that never breaks down, and nobody is surprised, the 5th-gen 4Runner has been in production in essentially the same form for 14 years. And here's the thing, that's not a flaw, that's the whole point. While every other manufacturer was chasing trends, adding turbos, 10-speed transmissions, giant touchscreens, Toyota kept the 4Runner exactly where it was. Owners are obsessed with it for exactly that reason. The 4.0-liter V6 uses a timing chain. No belt, no replacement interval, no surprise $1,200 service at 90,000 miles. The 5-speed automatic is considered over-engineered for the vehicle's weight. Mechanics call it boring. And in the reliability world, boring is the highest compliment you can give. Body-on-frame construction means this is a real truck, not a car dressed up as one. It handles off-road abuse, high-mileage stress, and daily punishment without developing the structural creaks and suspension fatigue you see in unibody crossovers. The physical knobs and buttons for climate control are still there, still simple, and still working. No giant tablet that costs $3,000 to replace when it eventually dies. The 4Runner is the cast-iron skillet of SUVs. You just keep using it forever.